Welcome back to the reading vlog. It is Monday afternoon. I'm tired. We're starting the week tired, but well read. I started with the Elenium, the next series by David Eddings, that is on my TBR list, and I am 105 pages in, and I am enjoying it. It is, I don't want to say pretty similar setting, but like it is a pretty similar setting to the first two series. We have this medieval fantasy world where magic is a common thing. We have a pretty involved church, more involved, I would say. No, not even. I think it's hard to compare, but we have like a really involved church and gods that people actively pray to and that involve themselves into what is happening in the world. As with the Malorian and Begariad, we have in the beginning an excerpt from like a history text that explains to us kind of the history, why we are in like a world that is how it is. And there was like a story of some like, they describe him as an ugly dwarf guy who made this, like he found this gemstone and he made a rose out of it and then two rings, and with that he prayed to the gods to make them kind of magical, and they did that, and so he had these magical rocks and other people wanted them, and some people then managed to get them from him. I think we have like 3 different countries or like kingdoms with different people. I think 3. Well, so one of them stole the rose, another one, I think another kingdom stole the rings, and then the rose got thrown into a body of water, and because the dwarf is so disfigured and has such small limbs, he couldn't get into the lake to get the rose back out. So, it's something like that. We will get more in the other books. I'm guessing that it's going to be pretty much like the Begariad and the Malorian. And then we come to our main character, who is Sparhawk. And he is a church knight, so the knights in this kingdom are like kind of through the church. They are more or less a religious institution, and he is the queen's knight, and he was put into exile because of some political squabbles in the kingdom. And when he comes back, the queen is like engulfed in crystal, and the sorceress that did that is the sorceress that taught him magic. And she did that because the queen had gotten sick, and they tried to save her, so they put her into this like crystal prison kind of that is keeping her alive, and they have a year to find out what they can do to save the queen. And that is where our main character comes back in, and he has a lot of like enemies. There's also a lot of great banter right at the beginning, and I'm enjoying that so much. Like the banter in the Eddings books is just amazing. I like how the people interact with one another. That being said, our main character doesn't seem to be the most serious character. He flaunts his ability and capabilities to kill people, which makes him a little bit unserious, but so far it works. We will see how it is going forward, but yeah, for the beginning it definitely works. He has a lot of enemies. We have a really interesting royal household with a little bit of incest, and yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. It is a lot of fun, I have to say that. So yeah, I got 100 pages in. I might try to get to 150 today. We'll see. I'm in the mood to continue reading, but I do want to get a little bit more knitting in today, and I don't know how much time I have, because I do need to do a little bit more, household things and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll see how it will be going. But yeah, it's definitely a good start. Like, I'm definitely enjoying myself, so that is really great, because I was slightly afraid to feel disappointed with the series, because obviously, if you love the rest of the books so much from the author, it can be really hit or miss with the other books. And so I'm glad that it's like beginning is really, really great. Yeah. So that is the reading. We are, also it's called The Diamond Throne. It's the first one of the Linium, because I didn't say it, I think. Annoyingly, with these ones, it's also only saying David Eddings. I'm gonna assume that they are also written by Lee, but I don't know. I might need to look that up. Because in these ones, it's not like Lee isn't named here, but she wasn't in the other series for the most part. So I will have to look that up, and then I will put it somewhere here on screen for you to know if she wrote them as well, which I'm gonna assume. So yeah, that is the reading wise. And then knitting wise, I fixed my cardigan a little bit, and I made a lot more increases. So it's hard to show, but I'm now at the point where I can in the next round, I will put the arm stitches on hold, and then I can continue with the body. That is what I want to get done today. I want to split the arms off and then get a few rounds of the body done so I can try it back on. But it is fitting a lot better as far as I can tell without having the arm split off. So I'm having high hopes that that will work out. I had to do a lot more stitches. So yeah, I seem to be quite a bit more off from gauge than I thought. My gauge swatch wasn't nearly as off as the garment seems to be. So yeah, I'm kind of confused about that. But you know what? We're going with the flow. It will work out in the end. So that is what I will be doing. I also have to go out with the dog in a minute. I have to get some washing done, you know, the never-ending clothes that get dirty. One of the most annoying parts of being an adult. Also, I ruined my lunch, which was really annoying. I am cooking from a cookbook from a YouTuber. She is I don't know the right word. Dietitian? Is that the right word? I think she's a dietitian. I'm gonna push her name on screen. But yeah, I bought her cookbook because I love her videos, and she has stomach issues herself, and it's really helpful. And I think the silken tofu you can get in Germany might be slightly different than the silken tofu you can get in America, because the recipe did not work out with the tofu I could get here. So yeah, I think I might need to try a different tofu, but it was pretty disappointing because it didn't taste at all because of that, because everything was just one big puddle of tofu, which was really weird. And so yeah, I kind of ruined my own lunch, which I do every few months. When I try something new that is more experimental, I tend to ruin it the first time around. But yeah, so it's a really Monday, except for the reading. That is really going great. Yeah. Let's hope that the rest of the week will be just as good when it comes to the reading. Okay, so Diamond Throne is really interesting. I have a few thoughts. One that I find really interesting is that we are skipping some fights, but I don't know yet if I like or dislike it. I just think it's really interesting and weird, because we had like this kind of big fight in like a garrison, where our main character found out like a scheme to make his order like the villain, and he found out, and they set like a trap for the people who want to kill like a count to make it out like our main character did it. And they know that, so they wait for them, and then we just skip the whole fight and come back to the story 3 days later, which was really interesting. I didn't mind it particularly, but it felt kind of weird, if you get what I mean, because normally, like, you know, we get the action in the book. So yeah, that was really interesting move on the part of the Eddings. But yeah, that was a big part of the 100 pages that I've read so far. And because of that coup, the other orders of knights, which I don't know if they also do magic, I don't think so, but they now banded all together, and they have now decided they need to try and find a solution to the queen's illness, because they need the queen alive and able to handle the royal politics. And that is pretty much where we're at now. We're now at the point where like Sparehawk, our main character, is like on his way out to start going to like a university to start some research in what the queen possibly has as an illness, because they don't even know what she has. So that's really interesting. We're at page 211 now. So we made quite good progress. The other thing that was kind of irritating to me, but I think it's just part of the character, I don't necessarily need to be happy about it, but it is something that, you know, oh, what is he? The knight to our main character, I think. He's like the second in command, or like the attendance to our main character. He's like keeping his armor in check and like having him dress and stuff like that. I forgot what the name for that kind of a job is. And he sired a child, an illegitimate child, with a girl that turned freshly 18. He's older, and he has a wife and 2 children, and they meet this child. And when our main character finds out, he's pretty like not uninterested, but he glosses over it pretty much. But he does keep reminding the guy about it in like a kind of funny-ish way. I don't know if I like how this situation is handled, but it does kind of fit the character. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of stuff like that. I hope it will have a resolution that like the guy who did it feels really bad about it. That would kind of fit with our main character. So I'm hoping that is kind of the resolution of that topic, because our main character was like joking they need to take the child with him because he was actually working for our main character, because before he knew that it was actually the child of his friend, and he got into some trouble, and so they have to take him with them. And he kind of joked about bringing the child to the wife of the guy and giving it to her to be like, I mean, the child is 10, giving it to her to be like, you know, can you look after the child? And it was set in kind of like a sarcastic / funny way to humiliate kind of the guy. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But yeah, it was a kind of a weird, like his reaction was just throwing me off a little bit. But yeah, that is pretty much where we're at right now. I am thoroughly enjoying it, though I don't know exactly how to feel about the book. I'm interested to see where the journey is now going. The beginning was pretty like heavy on like going like running in circles, pretty much like going here, going there, going here, going there. That is pretty much what the beginning is all about. But the world is really interesting. I do like the characters so far. I'm interested to see how the characters are that we're going to the rest of the characters that go for the group, like that create the group that will then go after the solution for the queen's illness. I'm interested to see how those characters are. But yeah, I do really love it up until now. And I can also tell you now, the cover of the book, I really like the cover of the book. That is the queen in her crystal pyramid that has been built around her throne to keep her alive, which is a really interesting concept. So yeah, the reading is going really good. My new yarn should arrive in the next hour or so, which I'm really excited about, because then I can start my summer knitting. Which I will put the cardigan on hold for that. I did manage to connect like for the underarms, so I now have armholes. It is still a little bit snug on me, but I'm hoping that will go away with blocking. We'll see. If not, I will have to see what I will do with it. But it feels really nice on the skin, so yeah. But before I will finish that one, I will start some summer knits, because obviously the weather is getting warmer and the cardigan will be quite warm, so it's not the most necessary thing at the moment. So I switched my knitting up there. And yeah, that is kind of what's going on today. Tomorrow is my last work day of the week, which is Wednesday, which is really nice. So yeah, we'll see how the book will continue. I'm kind of really interested to see where we're going with that and how the rest of the group is like set. Okay, it is Wednesday. I read my 100 pages of Diamond Throne, and I do really like it. I'm saying that every day, I feel like. I think my thoughts until now is that I did enjoy the Belgariad a little bit more. It's not that I don't enjoy this, it's just that I think the way the story is told, I did enjoy the very first series of the Eddings a little bit more. But I am still really enjoying this. This one just feels a little bit colder, I would say. It's not really cold, but it doesn't really give you a lot of the like warmer, fuzzier feelings. This one is feels a little bit more clinical. Our group is now on their way. They have a lot of adventures on their way. The bad guy is really trying to stop them with everything he can, but they are kind of countering it with conjuring, I think, yes, it with their own abilities, and they are really schemy, I would say, and they use a lot of like unorthodox methods, which are really enjoyable. So yeah, we are on our way now towards the city with the university. We are now on like pretty much like the last leg of the journey there. So I'm kind of interested to see where we're going once we are at the university. But yeah, they are now, we just had an ambush on the group. They ambushed us because of like a little girl that they have with them that just wanted to come with them. And she can kind of teleport herself as far as I can see, which is kind of interesting. I'm excited to see what her like role is later on, because it's pretty obvious that she will play like a big role in the book, or like an impactful role at least. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I have 200 pages left now. My goal is kind of to read the 200 pages tomorrow, because obviously for me, we have like a public holiday tomorrow, so I don't need to work, so I should have enough time to finish this tomorrow, which is the goal is at this point. And then also my yarn came, so let me do a quick yarn haul. I got this color, I love the color, but I tried working with this, and it is a really, really slippery yarn, because it is a bamboo yarn, so it is really slippery, and I feel like I'm at the moment not capable to work with that. And then I got myself this really cool yarn to knit myself some trousers. I'm currently knitting a gauge swatch to see if it works out with these needles. As you can see, I have a lot of green. I wear mostly black, but I do love me a green color. I just don't often wear color, because often I feel like weird if I wear color, but I'm trying to fix that. And then I also got myself this really, really nice darker red color to make some tops out of. And the last one I got is this green tweedy yarn to make a sweater out of, which I found a really, really nice sweater pattern that I want to knit for the fall. So this is the last project I will do from the yarn I bought in this yarn lot. But yeah, I bought a little bit like more expensive yarn. This one, for example, is a cotton and silk blend. And it feels really, really nice, and it looks really, really nice, in my opinion at least. And yeah, we'll see. It works. It also works up really, really nice. Like just knitting the gauge swatch is really, really nice. And then the last update that we have for today is that my new books from World of Books arrived, and I do have a few feelings about these. I kind of have mixed feelings. This one is in slightly better condition than the first one I received, so I am actually fine with this one. I think this is actually like totally fine. Then we have this one, which I think is still not in very good condition. Also because it's really dirty, I don't know why they couldn't clean that up. That is kind of a little bit confusing, but it is still in better condition than the last one. And then we have this one, which in my opinion is actually what I would think would come when I order a good book in very good condition. As you can see, like the spine is bent, but not overly, and you know, the edges look really good. There are no bent pages. The pages look really fresh still. So this is what I would have expected for the books to be like when they came in very good condition. So I'm actually really happy with the books they now send. If these books would have come the first time around, I would have never said anything. But yeah, those are the books that I did expect. So I'm happy that I've now got these versions. I will look into where I can donate the other ones, I think. But yeah, I'm really happy with this one especially, because this one is in really, really good condition. And that is actually what I wanted when I bought these books. So yeah, that is kind of all of the updates for today. tomorrow we'll see how the ending will be for the first book in the Elenium, and then yeah, we'll continue with the next one. But I'm really excited for this. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that. Also, I will finish Immortals Phoenix Rising with like 100% achievements in like a few minutes, which I'm so excited about. That means I finished another game with full achievements, and yeah, that is making me really happy. That means 2 more games that I will have to do to 100%, and then I will allow myself to buy myself Oblivion, the remake, because I really want to play that, but I promised myself I would finish some games first before I buy a new game, so that is my goal for like the next couple of weeks or whatever it will take me to finish 2 more bigger games with 100%, because, you know, I kind of need to put myself challenges, so I treat the things I buy with the respect and time they deserve. Okay, it is Thursday now. I finished Diamond Throne. I don't know. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as the Belgariad, and I think what it comes down to, like, it is in no way a bad book. In absolutely no way is it a bad book. But I think for me it's kind of missing a little bit the charm that I felt with the Belgariad and the Malorian and all of those characters. The characters in here I feel are a little bit more blunt. The banter is there, but I think the banter is a lot less. Like, can I say a lot less? I feel like it is a lot less than in the Belgariad, but it's still not little, if you know what I mean. You know, there's still a good amount of banter, but like what I know the Eddings can do, I would have loved a lot more banter in the book. I think that can remedy itself with the next one or the one after. Like, there are 3 in this series. Also, I think the story is a little bit slow. They just go from city to city and have like a little bit of trouble, and they go to the next city, a little bit of trouble, they go to the next city. That is pretty much what like the story is. It's just like having a little bit of trouble and going to the next city. I don't know, I might be a little bit harsh because I love the Belgariad so much, but for me this doesn't come quite close to the feeling I had when reading the Belgariad. I still really like it. I'm giving it 4.5 stars. It's just not giving me the same feelings the Belgariad gave me, and those were why I loved it so much. And this one feels a little bit more forgettable, a little bit less charmful, a little bit less banter, and yeah. So I can only give it 4.5 stars. It's still a really good book. But I think, you know, if you would ask me right now, I would say just read the Belgariad. This is still a really good fantasy. You should still read it. But I think the Belgariad is the more impressive one of the 2, which feels mean to say, but that's just, you know, my opinion. If you love them more, I get you. The characters are quite different. The circumstances are quite different in both books or both series. So, you know, it's not like he wrote the same fantasy again, which kind of isn't what I would want. But I personally feel the other story is a little bit more charming, and I do like me a good charming story. I don't need as much violence, though, as I said, we kind of skipped a few fights here, which felt really weird as well. Sometimes it also felt like we missed a little bit of the action, because in this book we only have the point of view from our main character, where in the Belgariad we did get the point of view of different characters, which I personally prefer in a fantasy. I don't want too many different points of views, but I do like a few. In this one, I think we only had Sparhawk, our main character. So that might also contribute to me liking the other one more. I think I like the way that was written a little bit more, because we got a little bit more of like the action from the different characters. Whereas here, when, for example, Talon, the young thief boy, when he goes off to do his thing, you know, we don't get what happened. We get, oh, he went off, Talon is back. And then he kind of gives us a rough overview of what happened, but we are not there when the things are happening. So I think that is something that might also like contribute to me feeling the other one had more charm and a little bit more oomph behind it, you know. But yeah, it's nonetheless, a really good book. I did really enjoy reading it. So yeah, tomorrow I will continue with the Sapphire Rose, so part 2 of the Elenium, and then yeah, we'll see how it continues. I mean, the story is pretty clear. I'm not gonna spoil it here, but they are searching for something, and that is what they're doing in part 2, and then I'm guessing that in part 3 will come the big confrontation with the like bad guy. So the trilogy is pretty obvious quite from the beginning how the story is, you know, split up. So yeah, I don't mind that. I'm quite interested to see what they will be doing to find the thing that they are looking for in the next book. And yeah, other than that, I haven't really done much. I did finish Immortals Phoenix Rising yesterday with like 100%. I don't know if I said that yet. And I did start playing Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon today, and I do have hopes of finishing that today, actually, with the 100% achievements. I did already play it once, but now it has achievements, so I'm doing the 100% achievements. And I mean, Blood Dragon isn't really a long game, so I'm quite far into it already, because obviously I have my day off tomorrow as well, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, that is what we're doing. I also rearranged in here. I might just insert a few clips here. Whenever I have like kind of an off day, I start rearranging furniture. That is what I did. The room feels now a lot more open, and the extra room next to it feels a lot more accessible now, which makes it more a part of this room, which is what I ultimately want it to be, and like an extension of this room. So yeah, I'm making strides towards that, which is nice. So yeah, that is what is up today, and we'll see how the reading will continue tomorrow. Good morning. It is Friday morning. It is pretty early still, but I got up as usual I would for work. I think I told you the wrong book yesterday. The second one of Elenium is the Ruby Knight, not the other one. But yeah, it is going pretty much the same as the first book, just with the goal of finding what our group is looking for. And we still have pretty much the same way of like going to a new place, getting ambushed somewhere on the way, or running into problems in the new place, something like that. Them having to kind of sneak around and then getting messages back to their order and the people that are working together with them, where they were coming from, and they are now, I think, pretty near to the goal where they're supposed to search for the treasure, as far as they know. I'm 100 pages in, so a fourth of the way through the book. I still really like it. For me, the book just still, even the same as the first one, feels a little bit less charming than the first two series by Eddings. So yeah, I don't know. I don't love the series as much as I loved the Begariad, and that is totally fine, though I'm still slightly disappointed. I had hoped I would love it just as much as the Begariad, but I think this is just, it is not a bad series, but I don't think it's as brilliant as the first one. I loved the banter so much in the first, in the Begariad and the Malorian. Here the characters do have banter, but it's a lot more, I feel like, clinical. It just feels like all of these people are really formal, I would say. And with the Begariad, we had the formality between certain people, but between themselves they were a lot less formal. And with that book you don't have that, and I much prefer people who are a lot less formal in their own groups, I think. And that is something that really stands out to me, I feel like, with this series. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I'm a fourth of the way through, so it's still a good read. It's just not as great as the Begariad, was, in my opinion, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see where we're going with this one. My plan is to read another 100 pages tomorrow morning, and then I will finish it next week in the next vlog. But yeah, we'll see how the next 100 pages go, if we are getting to where we are supposed to be to start the searching, because obviously we're only 100 pages in. I would assume that the ending of this book will be finding what we're searching. So there are 300 pages left still, so we'll see what travel will be there for our guys. And then the next thing I wanted to show you, the last thing for today pretty much, is this one. This is the beginning of my shorts. I still don't know if they will fit, actually. This is pretty much like one half of the shorts, like one leg. The fabric feels really nice from this yarn. This is the cotton and silk yarn. I don't know if I'm that sure about the color. Like, I like the color, but I don't know if I will like it on myself. But you know, yeah, we'll see once I can actually wear them. But yeah, it knits up really, really nice. Like, it feels really, really nice, the knitting, and it glides over the needles really nicely, which is really, really good. So yeah, I will now finish up Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, the last of the achievements that I didn't get to yesterday, and then I will probably be knitting the rest of the day. So, I don't have a reading update for you. I was dumb yesterday and I tried a new flavor of chips, and if you struggle with your stomach, you probably know situations like this, but I struggle with eating chips. I like eating them, but my stomach is really particular to which he likes and which not. And I tried a new flavor and my body hated it, and so I didn't really sleep well, and I'm still not feeling good. So I didn't pick up my book because I just didn't feel like it, to be honest. So yeah, no reading update for the end of this vlog, which, you know, it happens to the best of us. But yeah, I can give you a knitting update because I made quite a bit of progress on my shorts, because this is just like a stockinette pattern with like a lot of like decreases here on the side where like you bind off stitches, and a few on this side, because this is like one leg of the shorts. So it's pretty mindless knitting, so that is what I have been doing today. I am also doing a little bit of gaming. I'm playing like a farming sim game called Coral Island, which they finally fixed the bugs in it that made it impossible for me to get the achievements that I wanted to get still, like the last few that I'm missing. I can finally do that now. That is also a pretty mindless game, so that is what I've been doing today and nothing else, because I'm tired and I'm not feeling good, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself for even attempting to eat a new flavored chips. But you know, if you don't try, you won't know. And so yeah, I tried and I found out the hard way that I shouldn't have eaten that. So yeah. What an ending to the vlog, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna end the vlog here now. It is Saturday afternoon now, and yeah, I don't know, there won't be any more reading today. There won't be any reading today, but you know what, it's fine, it's fine. I'm gonna continue tomorrow, and I'm gonna finish the book in the next vlog. So you will sadly have to come back for next week's vlog if you want to know what I think of the book. But yeah, I hope your weekend went better. I hope your week of reading went really well, just as mine did. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next vlog or video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.